Welcome back to Doors Theory. Today's the big one, the moment we've been waiting for months. The Outdoors trailer is finally here. It's real, not just a teaser, not some vague image or tiny animation. We got the full thing. And honestly, there's so much packed into this trailer, it's insanely exciting. It'll brighten the footage when we break down this trailer so we can see everything in the dark. This isn't just a normal update. This trailer basically reveals a whole new game, layered inside the one we already know. So today I'm breaking down every frame, every new item, every new room, every new entity, and every tiny detail you might have missed. Even the stuff that doesn't seem important right away. Because let's be real, this update is going to change Doors a lot. Also, here's the full trailer if you haven't watched. So now let's start at the beginning. The trailer opens with something very familiar, Room 89. But instead of just moving on to the next numbered room, the player approaches something way more important, a pair of shears. If you've been following leaks and teaser content, you probably already know what these mean. These shears are the tool used to enter the outdoors subfloor. We've seen the model before, but this is the second time we actually see it being used in context. It's not crazy news, but I just wanted to point it out. Then something else immediately stands out. Curious Light is there. And yeah, if you've been keeping up, we already knew Curious was going to guide us through this whole subfloor. It's not really a surprise, considering Curious has been present in every subfloor so far, like the backdoor rooms. Curious is always the one helping us along, so seeing it show up in the outdoors was expected. But still, it's nice to see it again. Then we open door 90. That's the entrance. The moment we pass through the skull-locked door. Yep, you'll need a skeleton key to enter this subfloor. Again, that's not new, but this time we see it all over again. I love that little detail because it finally gives the skeleton key more uses. It's not just for healing anymore. It opens up so much more stuff. Now we enter what appears to be the garden subfloor, and it looks incredible. But more than that, it looks huge. Not just in design, but in detail. It's blurry at first, and that's intentional. They're keeping things unclear on purpose, so you get that foggy, lost feeling, like you're not quite sure where you are anymore. Through the window of one of the new cabin-style rooms, we spot a gated outdoor area. There's been debate about whether this is the same fountain room teased months ago, and honestly, it might be. But what matters more is that now we're looking through layered environments instead of just entering one flat space after another. Near the edge of the screen, you can just barely see a lantern. That confirms it. Lanterns are findable items. They're not just decorative. We're likely going to be able to pick them up like any other light source. And I'm guessing they'll behave differently from flashlights or lighters. Probably longer lasting, but dimmer. Maybe better in rain or wind if that's even a mechanic. Either way, it shows they're putting real thought into how light works in these areas. Also, this could just be a dropped item, but hey, that's just a theory. But then we hit a scene that really caught me off guard. A massive spiked vine archway, lit by lightning. And I don't mean curious light, it's green. And this isn't just a style choice. Green lightning becomes one of the major visual cues of the entire trailer. The developers clearly want us to associate it with something specific. We'll come back to that. This spiked vine is huge, absolutely massive, and I'm not exaggerating. The lightning flashes, and suddenly you realize this vine is wrapping over the entire area like a dangerous entity. We've had vines in teasers before, but they were always environmental. This one feels alive. I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes an actual entity. It feels like it's waiting for something to pass beneath it. And based on how much attention they give it in the trailer, I think this is likely a boss. From there, we cut to a few quick shots. A tree falling in the background, some benches, a water tower that looks forgotten. But again, it's that green lightning that keeps appearing. And it always comes with that same chain reaction. Crackling lightning that branches through the sky and focuses on a single point, like it's targeting something or warning you. Then we see the new cause entities, these little bird creatures that drink from the water. They're peaceful until they aren't. They hear something, think for a second, then fly off. Then we see someone's leg, the groundskeeper, easily the main part of the trailer. He's slow, heavy. Every movement has weight. He drags his massive scythe behind him like it's nothing. And yeah, it's exactly like the old leaked model, but now it's animated. And it's terrifying in a totally different way. What's even more interesting is the detail on his back. A ring of keys. Not decorative. Not just lore. These are usable. The devs don't put keys on an entity unless you're going to be able to steal them. And considering how carefully the camera frames those keys in the trailer, I think it's going to be a whole mechanic, possibly tied to escaping the subfloor early or accessing locked cabins. Next up, we see the groundskeeper lift what looks like a small branch off the ground, but then he seems to change his mind and drops it. Right after that, he bends down again, this time grabbing something else, maybe even planting seeds, or even just touching the grass. It's hard to tell exactly what he's doing here, but the animation is definitely worked hard on. He's also caring about the area rather than just passing through. Behind him, if you pay close attention, you'll notice a set of Seek's eyes embedded in a nearby tree. We've actually seen these eyes before in earlier teasers, so it's not new, but it is suspicious, especially since the developers once teased that they can't wait to do main floors for Seek. This could be either means he is not going to come in this subfloor or a clever misdirect. Maybe Seek is not coming to the subfloor, or maybe it's all just a trick to make us think that. Then we see him place a no stepping on grass sign. Yes, place it. That answers one of the biggest questions about the teaser images months ago. Why were the grass signs so clean and perfect even though the rest of the subfloor looked abandoned and overgrown? It's because the groundskeeper literally maintains the area. That's his job. He's not just a monster. He's making sure no one escapes the subfloor. But here's where it gets wild. Later, he's walking through a quiet area and stops. On the ground in front of him is a pile of vines moving. He doesn't hesitate. He just stabs it, completely kills it. The entities in this subfloor don't get along. Unlike the hotel, where everything seems to work against you, this place is different. Here, the wildlife is fighting each other. We also see a strange plant-like entity. It has 3 petals and just sits there in the dirt, already there when the camera shows it. Its exact role is still unknown, but a lot of people think it might function similarly to a snare, just more dangerous. Maybe it traps players more effectively or causes greater damage if triggered. Also, the bottom part of a cabin in the background, if you haven't seen it. Then we see the groundskeeper planting flowers, just calmly tending to the space. Again, reinforcing that he's not strictly a villain. He's only dangerous if you cross the line. And the line is very simple: don't step on the grass. Also, a no stepping on grass sign in the background. You can just see it. Later, a player does, and we see what happens. The groundskeeper becomes hostile. He pulls out the scythe, stabs the player, and finishes them with a brutal stomp. It's not flashy, it's not fast, it's angry, like punishment for stepping on the grass. And then we get the update title, The Great Outdoors. In the background, we can see birds flying in a bottom view, and we also see trees. But the trailer doesn't stop there. In fact, the second half is almost entirely focused on mechanics. We learn about Stardust, a new currency that lets you build subfloor elevators or skip to different subfloors. You can find it in vine-covered chests. It's not extremely rare, but it's also not something you'll be grabbing every run. That's already a crazy mechanic. The use of grinding for knobs and revives just got expanded. Then we get a look at item skins. These are cosmetic variations of normal items. Next, we get a look at a new item skin for the flashlight, which is part of the upcoming Garden collection. This specific skin features a decorative pink lotus flower on the front, tying directly into the same lotus that blooms at the end of the trailer. It's a nice hint to the lotus petals we've already seen teased as being important to the subfloor's lore. What's especially interesting here is that this flashlight appears to be a chroma skin. Now, for those who aren't familiar, item skins themselves, like this flower design, can be bought using knobs, the regular in-game currency. But chroma versions of those same skins, which are basically alternate versions with glowing colors or special visual effects, cost Stardust, the new rarer currency found in subfloors. So for example, you could get a flower flashlight with knobs, but if you want that same flashlight to shine with a green glow when you use the flashlight, that extra glow or effect is considered a chroma, and that's what will cost you Stardust. Finding Stardust during your runs will basically give you access to the more unique versions of these item skins, like a garden-themed crucifix that literally turns the crucifixion pink when used. One of the new features revealed in this trailer is run saves. And this is actually a pretty big deal for anyone who plays carefully and collects rare or valuable items during a run. Let's say you're doing a solid run on floor 1 and you've picked up some great items, maybe a crucifix, some tools, maybe even something from a skeleton door. But then, right before heading into floor 2, you realize you don't really have the time or energy to keep going. In the past, you'd be forced to either keep playing or lose everything you worked for. But with this new system, that problem's gone. Run saves let you stop between floors and save your progress, not just your place, but your actual inventory. So you can safely come back later and continue your run without starting over from scratch. It's basically a way to pause your run between subfloors without losing all your items. You'll be able to keep all your items, and when you're ready, just pick up right where you left off. This should be especially helpful for players trying to go for longer runs or who just want to break without losing progress. And the new compass item, which has been teased for a while now. Another interesting reveal from the trailer is a mid-run rift room, and this one's pretty different from what we've seen before. Normally, rifts are found either at the start or end of a floor, letting you either bring in or take out items between runs. But this time, we see something new. A rift hidden behind a skeleton door. What this might mean is that we're no longer limited to saving items only at the start or finish of a floor. If you manage to find and unlock one of these rift rooms midway through your run, you could potentially store your items early. Maybe you don't trust what's ahead, or you found something you really want to keep safe. But there's a catch. It's locked behind a skeleton door. That means you'll need a skeleton key just to access it, which is also bad. You can't store your skeleton key inside the rift you open, since you need to use it to get in. Unless another player opens it for you, you won't be able to keep your own key if you're using it for this. Still, this is a cool shift in how rifts work. Instead of being stuck with only beginning or end saves, this might let us secure loot mid-floor, and maybe even prepare better for what's to come next. And not only that, we see new rooms, new elevators, and even what looks like an in-progress seek chase area. It has the eyes, the staircases, the tight corridors. It's probably going to be outdoors themed, which is very cool. Looks like we're getting new hotel rooms in this update, which is pretty exciting. They go into more detail about that later. The part just before the chase starts. It's full of stairs, bookcases, and all sorts of details. Looks like we'll get plenty of new hotel rooms in this update. Next up, there's an area with seek eyes on a tree that's just above us. It's not in the ground, it's just resting on there. And finally, we see the big confirmation about the green lightning. It's not just for looks. Then we get another look at that massive vine creature, and whoa, this thing is huge. We've seen glimpses of it before. The way the lightning flashes across the sky and briefly lights it up makes it clear just how dangerous this entity is, with sharp thorns and branches jutting out everywhere. This tells me it's going to be very important later on. Now we shift into a much narrower part of the subfloor. On both sides of the path, there are massive rocky walls enclosing the player in, creating this almost canyon feel. What really stands out, though, is the giant tree that is above us. And on that tree are none other than Seek's eyes, staring right back at you. We've seen these eyes before in teasers. At the far end of this path, there's also a large stone archway, and the entire area feels like it's setting up for something. Maybe the Seek chase. Whenever green lightning flashes and hits the ground, that's the outdoors equivalent of flickering lights. It's a warning signal. Something is coming. Probably the new outdoors version of Rush. Maybe a variant, since Rush doesn't appear in subfloors. Or maybe it's Blitz from the back door. I do hope they make a different version of Rush, but that's just a theory. And sure enough, in the next scene, a player sprints through a cabin room and runs into a closet right as the lightning flashes outside. Inside a new cabin room, we spot a drawing of Gubby, a popular Roblox meme the developers seem to enjoy referencing. This teaser also reveals the meaning behind the green lightning. When it strikes, it signals a new Rush-type entity spawning. Each floor has a Rush-like enemy, so this outdoor subfloor will have its own. Instead of flickering lights, the green lightning will warn you, which is a cool change. We see a player running through a cabin, holding a lantern item that's likely usable. There's a fireplace in two drawings, one of clouds and one of the moon. Maybe a nod to guiding light. The eye-covered trees show up again and seem to be a common feature. Then there's a scene where the groundskeeper fights something, landing on a sign. It looks like players might be able to fight back or witness battles between entities, since the groundskeeper has been seen attacking vines before. This sign also reveals the update's release date, August 10th. It's coming soon. There's free lobby elevator access to the subfloor until August 25th. After that, it costs Stardust, and you'll have to go the normal greenhouse route. Also, a bridge behind this sign could be part of a chase, since I don't really know why it would be so high up. So this green lightning isn't just atmosphere, it's gameplay. And to end it all, we see a single lotus flower blooming. We've known for a while that lotus petals are going to matter in the outdoors subfloor. This little moment is simple and quiet. Whatever it is, it clearly matters. And that's how the trailer ends. So yeah, that's the outdoors trailer. And I don't say this lightly, but it might be one of the best trailers they've ever made. It's dramatic and exactly how a trailer should be. Between new entities, new mechanics, the introduction of Stardust, the reveal of green lightning, item skins, new rooms, and deep lore, this trailer gave us everything. And somehow, it still leaves us with questions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did I miss anything major? Any theories about the groundskeeper's origin or the lotus petals? I'm really curious what the rest of the community thinks. Thanks for watching. This was Door's Theory, where every door opens another mystery.